Hi guys, and welcome to my video tutorial where I'm going to show you how you can use Lightroom to your benefit. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to use Lightroom and import in your photographs. Now it's really simple, and I know it looks complicated, and I know when I first did it it felt complicated, but honestly it's not as bad as it looks. So first of all, if you can follow my cursor to the file in the toolbar, if you hit the left hand key and let's get the drop down menu, right there you are, new catalogue, open recent, optimize catalogue, and there we have import photos and video. So let's give that a click. Okay, so here we are in the importing section of Lightroom, and as you can see on the left hand side we have all of the hard drives that the computer can see, and I'm going to say to my computer the only one I want to use is my EOS digital, which is basically my compact flash that's plugged straight into my computer, and I want to use the photographs that are on it. So this is everything the actual computer and the software can see within that card. So as you can see, it's a fashion shoot and there's just lots and lots of images. So the next stage is we've located where we want to get the images from. We need to tell the computer now where we want them to be and where we want them to be saved. So what I do is I click into subfolder because I want this to be saved in one space with a group of other folders and files, so everything's in one. All my originals are kept together basically. I'm going to name the shoot 2016 autumn shoot, and then I'm going to choose where I want it to be. Now it's entirely up to you where you save your work or where you want it to be kept safe. I tend to use external hard drives because I feel this is the safest option for me. If you have a server offsite, whichever, that's entirely up to you. So what I do next is I choose where I want to save my images. So as you can see, there's Lightroom there, and there you are, look, it saves it into my 2016 folder, which is there. Okay, next stage is you just press import. There's nothing much more to do on that. You can do various other things with Lightroom, such as metadata and everything else, which is something we can look at later, which will really help you on your social media and everything else. In fact, I've had great success with metadata, where I had a company that found me through my metadata that was ingrained into my image and actually bought one image for quite a lot of money. So it is worth doing it. It's not worth something sidestepping, but if it's something you want to know later on, I can look at that for you and find out a little bit more information. Because I've already imported this file already, I don't need to do it. So I'm going to click my button, which I've left unclicked so you can actually see how Lightroom works. But I'm going to just click don't import suspected duplicates. So the computer and the software are aware that there's already those images on my computer, that those file names relate to another file name which is very similar. The other option you can do, if you're like me, a bit of a freak when it comes to safeguarding and backing up, you can make a second copy to an alternative backup place. So you can do that off-site, on a server, another external hard drive that you just don't use but you just keep up for backup. You can do that as well, but I've got other methods that I do and I don't tend to use that. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel that because I've already done it. For you, just import. The next stage we're going to look at is how to edit your images. But what you will see here at this moment in time is actually all of the photographs that have been imported. You'll see that we've got in the library section here, we've got 2016 autumn shoot in the location that we asked it to be saved in, and everything is catalogued in that area. So if every time you save, you can have everything there really within that area, and you can rename it if you want to. You can create folders, and everything you change in here will actually change in Explorer or in Finder if you're using a Mac. So it all relates to everything outside of, you've got control inside the software, but it also controls what goes on behind the scenes as well. So that's what happens when you import your photographs. The next stage will be showing you how to edit and create your own preset. Hi guys, I'm just going to show you quickly how to make a preset in Lightroom so that you can create your own wonderful presets, which I'm sure you've seen on Etsy. I'm just going to show you basically the basic tools within the development of Lightroom. So originally we were on the library section when we created and imported our photo files, and now I'm going to take you into the development section of Lightroom. Now the development section is like the digital darkroom compared to the physical darkroom that I used to work in when I was processing film. So basically all of the elements that we have within the original darkroom are kind of here in a simplified way. So you have the option to develop your image using these editing tools on the right hand side. So I'm just going to click that off because I don't want you to see that just yet, but here we are. Okay, so you have exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites and blacks. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to show you the very simple method of editing your photographs. Now this is a pre-edited photograph, so I've kind of got rid of the temporary imperfections, so there's no spots, and it's just a nice clean image for me to show you how to create your presets. Okay, so let's just focus on these ones here first. Okay, so I'm just going to take down the highlights. I want to show you the difference between under highlights and a lot of highlights. Now you might like the overexposed look, but I suppose it depends on what style you're going for. I think as long as your editing is in keeping with the style that you're trying to show your clients or your market, or I think if that's the style that you've been asked to do, then I think fair enough, you know, that works. Generally I probably wouldn't go too high on skin because I like to retain the texture in the skin. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the shadows a little bit. I might take them up just a touch. You can go a bit high with the whites, but look, you don't want to do that, do you? You know, you can see how it changes so I tend to keep them just mid-range really, and then just not. I'm going to sneeze in a minute. Oh dear, very sorry. Oh, excuse me. This is what happens when you have a cold for 3 weeks. But as promised, I said I would do a video, and I'm going to just knock the vibrance up a little bit as well. So you've got an option here as well, obviously, to take down your exposure, which I suppose would work really well with this image when you're knocking up your shadows. So let's just have a look. Oops. Okay, well, I quite like that. So the other option you can do as well is you have your tonal curve. Your tone curve option in Lightroom, and to be honest, I don't tend to use my tone curve very much in Photoshop. I tend to use it a lot more in Lightroom. There's no right or wrong way, and I'm not going to profess to say I'm the expert and this is how it should be done. This is my style, this is the way in which I work, and I'm just passing it on to you guys so that if you feel yes, this is great for you, then that's brilliant. Yeah, you know, I would rather share knowledge and give you something for you to work on. And if you know, and as you get better and as you practice more and as you become more familiar with your own style, you'll find that you won't need to watch other people as much because you've already adapted what you've learnt to you. So this is just giving you a heads up really. So I'm going to just mattify the image slightly. I'm going to take it up a little bit more, and then I'm going to drop that just a little bit more. Okay, so that's that bit. That's how you're mattifying your image. The other options you've got is obviously you can crop your image as well, and this is a crop overlay. So when you're this is why I love Lightroom. This was the best thing I ever found out in Lightroom. When you crop your image, I'm not actually going to crop it because I don't need to, but if I show you a really bad crop and go, oh, you know, what did I do, and I've pressed enter, I'm going to show you what Lightroom actually does. So if I click the crop tool again, if I crop it again, look, it actually, I can still go back in. I haven't lost anything, which I think is brilliant, because the amount of times I've done something stupid like that, or the client's gone, oh, can you give me a bit more because I want a canvas, and you go, oh great, I've really cropped in tight with that. Lightroom allows you to go back into the image and to retain that information back, because all the crop is doing, it's a bit like a mask. If you get a piece of paper and you decide to cut a hole in it, you're going to see what you can see through the hole in the paper. And Lightroom's a bit like that. It's like cutting out shapes in paper, that it allows you to see only through those shapes, but it doesn't mean you've lost the view behind it. You've just told it what you want it to see. And so it doesn't disregard any information or get rid of it. It's still there, so you can reset the image and work back into it if you need to change it, or if in years to come you think, you know what, I've got an idea about that shot, I can re-edit and I can do this. So you can always revisit your images, and you know, you're not losing anything. So I just think it's fabulous. You've got the spot removal tool, so you can do basic spot removal. You've got the red eye tool. You've got the gradient tool, which I think is fab. I use this a lot on weddings, but I probably will show you how to edit a weddings with these tools, but I'm trying to keep it simple because I'm already looking at the time and thinking I'm yabbering on. You've got the radial filter, which is like the grad filter, but it's more obviously circular. And you've got the adjustment brush, so you can change the way how light the brush is. So for instance, if I knock the exposure up and then paint these, look, I can actually lighten areas up. Not that I would, but you know, I can reset it and get rid of it, or I can go like that, and then if I don't like it, I can just go, while it's highlighted, I can go delete and then close. So everything's retainable, which is great. So the thing is now is to decide, actually highlight priority, I didn't mention that one, that's the vignette, so you can vignette. Detail, you can soften the skin slightly, but generally this is used for if you've took images on high ISO and you've got a lot of grain. It just reduces the noise. The clue's in the name, noise reduction. I don't think I need to say much more. And you can choose, you know, which bits it puts noise into and which bits it reduces with its, oh, there's so much. I could go on forever and ever, but I don't think you'd want me to. So that's how that bit's done. So the next stage is to save your presets. Now I've got lots of presets, ones that I've made specifically for individual shoots. There are some that I bought back in the day because I wanted just to deal with it quickly. So this is how you save your presets. So you go to presets, you click the plus button, and then it will bring up this menu for you. Now what I tend to do, as I said before, is I make a new folder for every shoot. So for instance, with this shoot, it would be 2016 autumn shoot. I would then name the shoot, the preset AW, and then colour 1 outdoors, whichever, however you want to describe it, so you know which one it is. You could put plus vibrancy, minus vibrancy, plus exposure. You could do all those technical bits if that's what you want to do. Then you would create the folder, so whatever the name was, autumn shoot, create, and then you would create your AW colour preset 1. Okay, so if you want to get to your presets, there are other ways to get to them. You can go into your preferences, and I know I'm being a bit fast now, but I know I've been talking now for 8 minutes just in this section alone, so I'm getting a bit antsy. Show Lightroom presets, and it will actually show you the folder in Explorer, so you can open it up, go into development presets, and then if you buy your own presets, you can just bang them into this folder here, and that will then, when you reboot the software, it'll all be visible. So you can buy your own, make your own, and it's just really, 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 really simple. So here is the finished image that I created not long after the tutorial. If you'd like to know more about how I work and what I'm working on, why don't you follow me on my blog through my website www.michelle-howard-photography.com, where you'll find out more up-to-date information and workshops for 2017.